Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, it is that time of year for my Netflix recommendations. So if you have been stuck in a kind of a rut, you don't know what to watch, you've been checking feeds, you've been trying to get recommendations, stick around and I'm going to give you all the details you need to Netflix and chill. Alright guys, so all of these are actually TV shows. I only have one movie on this list, Fatal Affair. So if you have not been under a rock, then you know that Nia Long and Omar Epps were recently cast in a newer movie called Fatal Affair. And judging by the title, you know that it's going to be one of those movies where one person is infatuated with the other. The reason why a lot of people felt that this was not a good movie was because they felt that Nia Long and Omar Epps' acting were not as up to par as they were in some of their classics, like for Nia Long, Soul Food, Boys in the Hood, and for Omar Epps, Higher Learning, and what was the other one, In Too Deep or Waist Deep. So in comparison to those classics, they felt that their acting was subpar. In my opinion, it wasn't. In my opinion, it was just they were playing different characters. In all of those movies, they were more so urban characters. In this one, they are both wealthy and, educated. Not to say that other characters are, but you can just tell that it's a different pedigree that these characters are supposed to be. So therefore their tones change, their facial expressions, a lot of things. And to me, it kind of more so speaks to them being better actors than worse actors. So here is a quick clip of something that you can catch in that movie.
I feel like you're sleeping with a stranger.
I can't, I'm sorry.
So if movies like that interest you, definitely make sure to check out Fatal Affair. The only reason why it's at the bottom of my list is because we've seen so many movies with this same type of storyline. Watch it. I'm not going to tell you too much on that end. Now, I will say this. If you are like, I know Squid Games is going to be on this list, it is not. I do not feel that you need another person telling you to watch Squid Games. You have plenty of people and plenty of recommendations for Squid Games. I personally have not seen it. Despite all the memes, despite all the TikToks, I have not sat down and watched Squid Games. I have no doubt in my mind that it is a fantastic TV show. I will say this, however. Whenever something is strongly recommended like that on Netflix, it usually is almost always good. And I have the two next shows that I'm going to talk about were actually cult favorites like that and recommended all across the internet, which is how I happened upon them. And that is only because they have new seasons, and I just want to push and urge you, if you have not, now would be the time to jump on those bandwagons. The first is actually going to be You. I discussed this in my prior video of Netflix recommendations, and I'm going to suggest it again because You did not fail me season 3, okay? I was still on the edge of my seat. I still didn't know what was happening, and I was still rooting for Joe, because I'm gonna tell you, at the end of season 2, my only thoughts was, how is Joe getting out of this? So to see how things unfold and move forward with what we know, with what Joe knows, season 3 was just everything, okay? I finished it in a weekend. So if you have not watched You, now would be a good time to catch up, because there are now 3 seasons loaded, which means you have plenty to binge.
No, this is bad. So now I have you. Things will be different this time.
Something's going on. You're always distracted.
Are you okay? You look paler than usual.
I think we need to go to couples therapy.
This came sooner than expected.
So the next on the list of cult favorites, things that just were recommended all over the internet, that was also in my other video, is Tiger King. Now I know you're like, everybody says Tiger King. Tiger King now has season 2 up. You heard me. Tiger King now has season 2 up. I know a lot of you are thinking, what more could there be? Oh, just, they delve in deep. There were so many different pathways and different storylines in the original Tiger King that although you're focusing on Joe Exotic and what's going on with him, there were so many other storylines like Carol Baskin and the husband to Joe Exotic, and it was so many different avenues that it only makes sense that the second season would kind of go into detail and take apart all of those little different relationships and side stories. So just buckle up your seatbelt, because you're about to get information and tea is going to be spilling so much that you are not going to be able to catch it.
You haven't quite seen it all.
You have a prepaid call from.
Okay. So another favorite of mine, and this again this is not PG-13, okay? It is Sex Life. I only watched that show because someone on TikTok was like, watch episode 3, timestamp such and such, and blind react to it. And all the TikToks that I saw, the blind reaction was like so funny that I was like, I need to see this TV show, and I don't want to just hop to that point. You get a little bit of everything. You get a taste of marriage life, some of the ups and downs and pitfalls of marriage, but then you also get a taste of like the single life and what they have to deal with. It's very much I won't say Sex and the City vibes because it's kind of urban, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. You kind of just want to grab the main character by her shoulders and be like, girl, what is the problem? What are you going through? So I highly recommend that. This is a quick clip of what you can catch or what is going on in that show.
Desire. Feeling desired. Freedom. I haven't felt that way since...
Brad, the person who gives you security can't be the same person who gives you the thrill.
Billy never even mentioned you.
Maybe there's a reason for that.
I'm questioning everything. Everybody wonders, what if? The sex sucks. The romance quotient is non-existent. I've been thinking about him.
All right, so the next show, I'm actually surprised at myself for even recommending to you guys, and I had absolutely no interest just off of the storyline and just off the title, and that is Lucifer. I had no interest in watching a show about the devil. I'm a Christian, and I did not want to fall into anything that kind of idealized the devil or anything that kind of I don't know, was blasphemous towards God. I didn't want to fall into that. I didn't think that it was good to kind of make light of something that I believe to be true, something that I believe to be a serious topic, okay? So, something told me just to watch. I will say this. It is very interesting. I do like how they bring in parts of the Bible, and I do also like the fact that they give you background on the relationship between Lucifer and God, which I think a lot of people do not know the background between Lucifer and God. He was one of God's most favorite angels. Why he had that position, what God saw in him to originally make him that guy, that angel. So I think it's done tastefully, which shocked me, but it is done tastefully. I never at any point felt that it was blasphemous toward God. It is not an extremely religious show. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. You are not getting Bible verses. You are not going to church. You're not going to be all that. It is a crime fighting, like CSI Bones type TV show. That is all it's about. It's about solving crimes, and he just happens to be Lucifer. And they give you a little bit of background in regards to that and how him being Lucifer is helping him to solve these crimes and being beneficial to humanity, even though he's not supposed to be involved with humanity. He is supposed to be in hell.
You end up dying in a hailstorm of bullets, and you get away without a scratch.
The benefits of immortality. What will your corrupt little organization do about this?
We're done here.
Someone out there needs to be punished.
Stop caring. You're the devil. I think you have a visitor.
Menadil!
Your return to the underworld has been requested.
Let me just check my calendar. Here it is. The 7th of never through to the 15th of ain't gonna happen. How does that work for you guys? Try it. You think Father's upset now?
You're psychic or something?
No, I can't read people's minds. I'm not a Jedi.
What exactly do you think happens when the devil leaves hell? All of those demons, all of those tormented and tortured souls, where do you think they go?
I said go ahead and give it a try if you want something interesting to watch, something different. I'm pretty sure that everybody's in on this next one. She's Gotta Have It. I believe it is on its 3rd season. I could be wrong. I believe it's on its 3rd season, but it is based off the movie by Spike Lee, She's Gotta Have It, and it is a TV show with all new characters. It keeps the same premise, the same characters, but it just kind of slows down that movie storyline and gives you more dimension on each character, each relationship. It is very, very good. I love the narration. I love the acting. I love the New York vibes. I mean, everything.
As a sex-positive, polyamorous pansexual, monogamy never even seemed like a remote possibility.
Doesn't it get confusing juggling all of them at the same time?
Mars makes me laugh until my sides hurt. Yeah. Greer is spontaneous. Nothing is ever the same with him. Jamie's grown, and he cares about me in a way that no one ever has.
Your name leaves my lips the moment I wake from slumber.
Shit I ever heard. I personally have never been to New York, but it gives me the correct vibes, like that whole Crooklyn type. So if you are from New York or have been in New York, watch it, or if you've seen it, comment down below and tell me, is that an accurate portrayal of New York City life? And let me know if I'm just like completely off basis with that. So last time I did the Netflix recommendations, I did put some older shows that I felt were worthy of rewatching. I have one, and that is America's Next Top Model. Now, the reason why I recommend rewatching it is because the audacity, do you hear me? The audacity of the things that they used to say to these women, and the way they used to butcher their hair, their style, just for the sake of saying that they changed their look, that they made them look like the model they are. I mean, I always felt like sometimes the haircuts were ugly, or that maybe they were going a little bit too far when they would talk down to someone, but it's just like disgusting. The way that they would talk to some people, the way they would treat some of these women, and the way that they would like, oh, you have long, beautiful hair. Like, you're beautiful as is. Oh, what we're gonna do is give you a mullet. And then it's like they would dress them up and be like, oh, she's high fashion. Oh, look at her now. Look at her now. She's so much better with her mullet. And it's like, no. And then you cut her like 2 weeks down the road. So now I'm just going home with this stupid haircut that's not gonna do anything for me. You know what I'm like? I don't know. It's just really interesting. Like, I'm not saying go and watch, like, I think it's like 13 seasons or something. I'm not saying go watch all 13, but I definitely, like, just to see what I'm talking about, just grab an episode and click it, and you're gonna be like, I would have been like, I'm sorry. Like, me and Tyra would have had to square up a couple of times. I love Tyra, but we would have had to square up a couple of times if that was me.
Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with the gap in your mouth? Yeah, why not? This is all people see. It's Easy Read's beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for...
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, and my number one Netflix recommendation for you guys is Jupiter's Legacy. Again, if you were into like Black Panther, the Avengers, anything like that, comic books, superheroes, action, this is gonna give you all of that. What I like about it is that it's different time frames. So you get to see like the 1920s, how things how long these superheroes were actually around undercover and doing things. The premise of the story is basically that these superheroes have been doing this for a really long time. They now have children who are actually going to take over, but the children kind of have their own way that they want to do things. They don't want to do it the same way their parents did, regardless of the fact that it worked. Okay, they are like, no, I want to do this my way, and there are mistakes that they make along the way, but it is really good and it will keep your attention. It is really, really good. Really good. And shameless plug, my brother is one of the superheroes. So you gotta watch it. So here's the clip of Jupiter's Legacy, starring my big brother.
It used to be that you protect your country. They call you a hero.
The world is changing. So I guess we're gonna have to change with it.
Alright guys, that is all I have for this video. Make sure to comment down below and tell me if any of my recommendations are shows that you have seen. Also comment down below anything that you think that I should watch based on what you see that I like. Literally, I could do one of these videos like every month. Like, I am heavy in the Netflix, heavy in the Hulu. How about I have Netflix, Hulu, Discovery Plus, Zeus Network, Disney Plus. I have everything. So comment down below if beyond Netflix, if you want recommendations for other streaming services, because your girl got them all. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I think the only one I don't have is Paramount Plus. That's about it. Alright guys, check you later. And as always, love you, mean it. Bye.